Hey y'all, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Alyssa.
We're your buttons babes, and this week we are going to be pushing that ghosting button. So, clearly we haven't already talked about this. I felt triggered over the past couple days because on Instagram I have been seeing like different, explanations on, why ghosting is so terrible, and it means that you can't have an uncomfortable conversation, and it's immature, and it's X, Y, and Z, and not like a bad person, but
But not a good person
yes,
necessarily.
like, you should grow and learn how to face confrontation and be uncomfortable. And as I'm reading these things, I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Because I have for sure done some ghosting.
I mean, raise
in
your
my
hand
days.
if you've never ghosted.
Lies. And there was something about it. Like, yes, I agree with those statements, but it doesn't always mean that ghosting is a bad thing or that you shouldn't do it, depending on what you need for your own self.
For you.
Yeah, for your own self, for your own peace of mind, for your boundaries. And so there's just I have seen a lot of content pushing don't ghost people, it's wrong, it's immature, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I kind of disagree depending on the situation.
It's a gray area
Yes.
for me too.
Oh, that's a great point.
Absolutely. Have I ghosted people? Let me count the ways. Absolutely, yeah. But were some of them conversations that I just want to have to be like, oh yeah, your wiener sucks, or whatever that may be. Abso-fucking-lutely. Also, yes. But sometimes it's for my sanity, for my well-being, I'm not pursuing, or even
I don't have the energy.
Or it's not worth it.
Mama.
We had a conversation, and obviously neither of us was feeling it enough not to pursue further. So I think
There's
a
no
mutual
point.
ghost is fine, and I don't know, and this goes back to now my boomer pants are on, but sometimes I'm just fucking move on.
Yes.
I don't know, in the professional sense, I've been ghosted from places that I've sent an application for. I want to work here. And,
Okay, yes,
they don't say
interesting.
anything.
It's
Have
same.
you been ghosted
You
when
don't
you've
always-
auditioned?
Yo.
And you've never heard, thanks, but
The
no
industry
thanks?
is notorious for, you're not going to hear, you will hear something if it's a yes. That's
it.
Standard. And I'm okay with that. There's a handful of times where I do feel bad. I feel really bad about ghosting someone or even having to block someone. Kind of different.
I don't feel bad about. I feel bad for me when I have to block someone.
That's fair. I'm still, figuring and sifting through that because I've blocked a few people because they don't understand or respect my boundaries. Anyway, I digress. But especially when people continually hit you up, you're like, hey, just checking in, how are you? Blah blah blah.
And so when it's read the room,
bruh,
and that I don't know if reflecting on me and my most of the time lack of wanting confrontation, because I'm the type of person that I will be honest with you to an extent, to save yourself or myself, whatever's most convenient for me typically, especially if your feelings are involved, is what I'm gonna do. But if I'm gonna confront you, I have gathered the speeches in my shower and I have talked to my cats okay, so I'm coming in fucking hot.
I'm ready.
I'm fucking ready, and even if I'm wrong, we are going to have this confrontation.
All of the scenarios.
Yes.
Yo, I've written the speech. I have read it to somebody
It's been
else.
in the group chat. Yeah. So I'm to save you from all that is this. I'm not gonna say anything, and it's up to. I feel like people need to understand to read the room.
Yes.
Before
that's
they
fair.
get to the blow up, because if you've sent me 45 messages and I have not responded, at this point, no, I am not going to
Not
respond.
interested. Don't want to catch up. Don't need to have coffee.
It's like 3 max. I think it's like, okay, if you've sent 2, I'm gonna like whatever, after like a handful, like pending where you are on the scale of like how I value you, sadly, not sadly, because time is value. Pending where you are on that scale for me, I'll like say like, hey, thanks, like I'm busy. Like that's it. I'll just say, hey, thanks,
That's my
I'm
go-to.
busy.
Like, or I've been busy. Like, I didn't forget about you, but
yeah, I don't like to lean into the like, I have a boyfriend now, because I do, thankfully.
Interesting.
But like
Okay,
that, I think like it annoys me that has to be an excuse for someone to stop bothering you. Like I belong to someone else. The fuck I did. I belong to my own self.
Can't you just take the hint that I don't want to talk to you?
Yeah.
There's been a couple of people that I have left on red because I'm just like, I don't want to have to use that card.
I usually say I have a boyfriend
do I feel
when I
bad about
don't, and
not
that's what
using
is
it
annoying
because
me.
of my partner? I'm like, am I a bad like significant other, or am like what?
No, because I think it's also like the counter for many people is like, oh, I'm just trying to talk. Like I'm just trying to be friends. Like you know,
Like,
that thing that it's
really?
like,
okay.
okay,
or, like,
so if you're my friend, then you can respect this.
Yep.
And like then if you're my friend, then then you should friendly
Leave me
leave me alone. Yeah, I think when I first moved to LA, I met someone while running, and naive me, I feel like there's like a booger hanging out of my face.
I will always tell you. Like, no,
No,
good.
okay.
Okay.
Sorry. But so I was running, this dude stopped me and like, whatever, we talked. This was years ago. And he was like, oh, I run in the area. Like, do you want like a running partner? And I was like, yeah, I just moved here.
Nice.
Like, I'm looking for friends. Was very clear. I am looking for friends. You run, I run. Let's run together. So, okay, we made this running plan. We're gonna go. And like, so got my I look like I'm running, okay? I look like I'm running, and I look pretty gross. Like, I'm gonna work out.
I'm working out.
So he shows up in this like matching sweatpants outfit and these like new shoes, and he's like, it's a date, and I'm like,
bruh.
so
You
I
don't
didn't shave
run?
my armpits and I don't have deodorant on. This is gonna be super fun. Let's do this. And so we're like in the car and we're talking, and like, okay, like I moved here after a breakup, and I was kind of getting to know someone in a romantic way at that time. So like, oh, I'm talking about this guy and his family, then to really emphasize this
I'm
is
looking
supposed
for
to be a
friends.
friend date, and we were supposed to be fucking running. Okay. So he pulls over somewhere and is like, I can't believe that you would leave me, like that like whole thing. And I'm like in this guy's car, and I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I am. Okay, cool. Here we are in this situation that
The audacity. And it is, and for some reason I thought it was like just the season of audacity for individuals lately. But no, like it's
been
always
that way.
there. Yes, and I'm like, how is it that I let you on? Like I told you. Like, and we can't just run. You have to want to pursue something with me. So, light bulb for another button, being friends with the opposite sex.
Oh yeah, the friend zone thing. That's the thing that I've seen going around lately too. But like, so he stops and he's very upset about it. And I was like, bro, I literally said I'm looking for a fucking running friend. How dare you think that I want more based on the conversation, the words that came out of my mouth, the words that you saw in our text exchange, because we did text a little bit back and forth, so it wasn't like I didn't just get in a stranger's car. Like,
right.
I mean, I didn't know him and he was still a stranger, but we definitely like had conversations leading up to like, oh, like I like dogs, I like cats, like those types of things, because that's what you do with a friend is you're like, what do you like? What do you not,
Let's
you
get to know each other. in a
And I was
platonic way.
like, verbally you heard it, audibly if you lip read, you could read the fucking things coming out of my mouth, and you can also text read, like
Yes.
with your eyeballs because you were responding. So I was like, you have no fucking right to be upset with me. I was like, I am upset with you for making me feel bad about this.
Good for you. 'Cause
He definitely
not there.
backtracked and was like, okay, like I'm sorry, do you still want to go? And I was like, yes, I still want to fucking run. Like
I want to get my
that's
sweat
the
on.
point. I was like, you can drop me off you can take me back and I will go on my own run. And he was like, no, like, I want to see this, like, let's go to this place. So we went and we walked around and we talked a little bit more. And I was like...
Still not running anyway.
Yeah, still not running.
You don't run.
But I was like, I'm really frustrated that, like, you would act this way. So we had the, kind of that conversation of, like, how did he get confused by what I said to him? And I, like, don't recall, like, it definitely didn't go anywhere, clearly, because I don't remember his name even. But, like, I was like, you're fucking pretty you suck at this point for this, because that was clear. Your intentions were not clear, and you need to check yourself. And like,
that's how people get ghosted. Like,
and that
yes,
and that like then we definitely, that was
I
like
don't
the
wanna
last
deal with
interaction.
you.
I think once he reached out and I didn't say anything for obvious reasons, and that was fine. He understood the message and did not approach me again. I think we saw each other in passing a few times, and both, like, did the, like, look the other way because yeah, I was like, this is not my fucking problem anymore.
Right? How do you handle ghosting? Like, I think there's been...
It depends on, like, what I've put into that person. Like, there's been a couple times that I've been ghosted by someone that I for sure was like, oh, I really liked their, whatever. Like, I had put the, like, in my head, the scenario of, like,
this is what's going to happen.
Exactly. The storyline of, okay, we're going to, be really good, whatever
the
relationship may have been. Yeah, I've been ghosted by some women that were, like, for friendship reasons, that I was, like, so excited to be friends with them.
So, like, that hits differently. And being ghosted, like, in a platonic way,
it hurts.
It does.
Differently.
It's sometimes harder. Or, like, if you've been friends for a while and, like a friendship ending and being ghosted by a friend, we're like, oh no, like, I just need time, or I'm busy, or I'm doing this and I'm focused, and then it's like, nah, bitch.
Mind.
I'm like, oh, okay. That, like, it stings differently. And it's like, oh, we couldn't be adults and have a conversation? Like, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? Respect that you couldn't have the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to press you to do any of those things. And if you do want to talk, I'm here, and like, maybe I will.
You know how to reach me.
Yeah.
I think there's been a couple friendships that I have definitely been the, like, I'm out into the bushes kind of thing. And
but
I can't
that's what
really
I needed
think of any, like, conversations that I've legitimately had with someone else. Like, hey, you know what? This friendship is not what it, like, because I'm not really sure how to put that into, like, words necessarily of, like, the reason maybe that I'm just not trying to continue reaching out. If it's like, oh, I'm the only one who's, like, extended this olive branch, and I'm just tired of being the one that's, like, extending the olive branch. I've definitely never said, like, hey, I'm sick of fucking
being your
texting
friend,
you,
like,
or calling you. Like,
we're friend breaking up. Like, that, I have done a friend breakup. It's interesting. That'll be another button, probably.
I think that it would be helpful to see, or, like,
how
learn to do that adequately.
That?
Like, I think one, like, in, like, high school, collegey time, and that's like one of the only that I can in this moment.
Those are hard too, man. Like, relationships. Anytime, like, someone is leaving your life, like, grieving that friendship, that person, the memories, and still, like, trying to make sure, like, you're still a good person, love you from a distance, care about you, but you just don't fit in my life anymore. And it's different when you have the conversation versus them just slipping away, but you both know. You're like, oh, okay, got it. We can go with each other. I think as far as ghosting is concerned, I have been ghosted once where it really bothered me. And I did the thing. I wrote out the message, and I was, because of what was put into it and my intentions being clear, I'd be like, oh, no. Like, and then the audacity for said individual be like, hey, I want to be more intentional. Nah. Like, you had your chance shot, like, and you decided to disappear, like, and didn't want to address it ever, and now you're just gonna pop back up.
I think the zombieing is that term. I love and hate that, like, there's a fucking term for everything. Yeah.
Like, you're dead and okay, duh,
So they
you're
like
dead and now
come
you're back.
and yeah,
I used to call it like Houdini. Like, I used to have people who would like
disappear and come back.
Yeah,
I feel like I like that better.
Yeah, I was like zombieing. I've never heard that. I feel real old right now. Like, I'm not with the times, but you know what? It's okay. We learning. Like, and anyway, so zombieing, Houdiniing, yes, just I'm not with it. There are some people, depending on what it is, like if we sit and have a conversation or you explain some shit to me.
Yeah, like, you know, I was really, I mean, for some people it's like, oh, I was really depressed, and I'm like
I get it.
Get it?
Yo,
okay,
been
that's all,
there.
you know, you reach out to me or tell me if you need me to pursue you, then tell me, like, I do need that. I think we have had some of those conversations with our friendship of like, you know, if I say this, I mean it, or if I say this, I actually mean this. Yes. So, and I think that's something that I do extremely super value of our relationship is that like we're able to have those conversations so that like despite how we are and when we're around each other act like whatever types of moods we're in, we already know like, okay, well this means this means this, and if there's an issue,
then I know we'll talk about it at some point and it's gonna be fine. The thing is like how you deal and react with that, with the relationship that you have. Like, do I want to do something about this? Do I want to save this friendship? And that's how, again, like ghosting will lead to people falling to the wayside.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to deal with it, great. If you want to fix it and put in the effort to fix something, then I'm like, okay,
we can
like,
maybe work together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it does
I
depend.
think I'm like a out of sight, out of mind.
Same.
So yeah, like if there's an issue and it's not in my sight,
you don't tell me.
I'm oblivious.
Yes,
like
like-
I don't know what's going on unless you say like, hey, you're oblivious and I need you to come into the space that I'm in.
Listen, Linda, listen to me. Come sit down. Like
Yeah.
that is what I need as well. It's like, and I think that's also a part of why our friendship works the way that it does. It's like, yo, bitch, we need to talk, or I need to.
And it's like, cool, okay, we'll have this conversation. I think with family, it can be that way too. I mean, we've talked about for sure, like family that's in our lives or family that's not in our lives for the various reasons. And I think, I don't know, like I'm in the middle of the ghosting fence because I do think that there are some ghostings that like could have been a conversation and you know.
Yeah, it could
and
have.
some ghosting is
does
like
it need to be.
It's a necessity for your health, maybe to like literally like if it's a toxic person,
or like just talking to them gives you anxiety, or you are depressed and you be like, yo, I can't handle this right now. Maybe one day I'll circle back to it like, hey, BT dubs, like I thought about it, didn't mean to disappear on you, but X, Y, and Z, and then leave it at that. But yeah. Thought it was an interesting topic because Instagram has been shoving it down my throat and making me
seen
trigger.
a lot of that yet, and so I'm like, okay, where the memes? Like, I can't wait to fucking drop some comments in here.
There's just been some like when I think about it, there's been a handful of people that I've just been like, oh, you did text me or message me, and I haven't had the bandwidth.
Yeah,
like to get back.
There's some people that I have a list in my phone, and if you're on that list, I love you. And you know what? You've given me the space and I appreciate that. But there's a list in my phone of people that I have not responded to that I'm like, you know, I will. When you
get there.
And those are the type of relationships that are like
that you value.
There's a value to them.
Yes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Got you.
And if also they valued it at a higher level, then they would push a little bit further. And
yes.
So those are like a safe, like we're both like at arm's length of like, okay, yeah, like we'll get to it. And I think those friendships I absolutely value, you friends, who are like on that page of like
it's low maintenance, like they get it.
Yes. Some of my closest or I don't know, like they're I wouldn't say, I don't know, some dear friends of mine are the like, yep, we have a conversation once a year, twice a year maybe. But it's not like a, how are you doing? And like, what's going on in your life? You know, it's like that weird, like, I had breakfast today. Like, you know, the cats are fine. It's like when we do have that one conversation, it's like, a real honest conversation. Like, I'm doing really bad actually, you know, blah, like vomit of here's how's everything going, an update to a previous, and then they'll also be like, you know, same, whatever.
Or different, yeah.
And so like those are like maybe a level of ghosted friendship, but just like a single touch point friendship, maybe. I don't know, I'm making that term up. But like,
no, it makes sense.
You know, I don't know, like, the term of that, but like, there are layers. I think it's not just as easy as like ghosting equals bad.
Thank you.
It's a spectrum.
You know, to complete this button, that's exactly what I was getting at as I was triggered by Instagram shoving this into my face, like, or me subconsciously like finding it because I'm seeing it more. Like, ghosting doesn't equal bad. Like, do what you need to do for you to be sane, and, you know, tell people to fucking fuck off, or like in your head be like, you know what, that noise, bzz, go away. I'm not a terrible person. I'm doing what I need to do for me, and
we're all out here just trying to exist.
We're just trying to
on
make
this
it.
Ball that is continuously circling in space.
Well, y'all, that's all we have for this button. We'll probably circle back around to it at some point. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next week. Bye.